So in the last Evo video, I installed a custom digital dash into the car and I wanted to add Telltales, but they hadn't arrived. They were coming from Italy. They've arrived now, so we can get them installed and make it all road legal. So this is what I bought here. I bought it from a company in Italy because I thought they did something a bit different, but in actual fact, they're just reselling film parts. I think one of them actually still has it on. Amusingly, they've rubbed off the film label, so you don't know where they came from on all the others, but one of them, where are we? There we go. One of them still has film written on it. So that's the company, a Chinese company. Can't buy from them direct, sadly, but everybody seems to sell these in different sizes. So that's what I ended up buying. They're about €6-ish per lamp, and they do every kind of lamp you can think of. So these are 12mm hole, 14-15mm outside diameter for the kind of bezel on the end, and they are black aluminium. And they are kind of hidden. You can't really tell what they are until they light up. So I went overboard, as I do, and bought too many, but I thought it's better to have too many and then just keep a few on the side than have too few and have to order more. So we've got the engine light, not a legal requirement, but I thought it's cool to have that. We've got the side lights, that is a legal requirement, need that. We've got the oil light, not a legal requirement, but thought cool to have just in case. We've got one of the indicators there, legal requirement. We've got the handbrake or brake warning, which is a legal requirement. We've got the main beam, and that's legal requirement, all good. We've got another one of the indicators, legal requirement, and we've got low fuel. I did also buy a dipped beam, which isn't a legal requirement. I bought battery, not needed, and the MaxxDash shows you real-time battery voltage anyway, and I've got a fog light. The Evo doesn't have fog lights on it, and it's not a legal requirement in Sweden, believe it or not, to have fog lights or reversing lights. So on the stock dash we've got here, I've worked out what lamps go where. So we've got indicator, main beam, then we've got down here, we've got fuel and parking brake. I think that's the right way around, I'll double check. And on this side, we've got indicator. I'm going to put dipped, which is illumination. The Evo doesn't have a dipped or side light indicator. It just illuminates the dash, which is all it needs to do. So I could have taken feedings from the stalk, but I can't be bothered to do that, I'll be honest. I think that's a bit of overkill. So we've got indicator, then I'm going to have the side light lamp, and then we've got down here, we're going to have the oil, I think, and then the engine light. But I'll get it in the right order to match the dash, basically going anti-clockwise and going clockwise. So there we go. So now we can figure out how we want to install these and how we want them to look. And I've already made a bit of a start on that.
A few inches later.
So I've been toying around with the idea here of which way to go. I like the way my oil light is vertical. That's not good for holding liquid. The choices are straight or curved to follow the shroud, the surround. And I'm thinking actually that I like the curved option. So I am probably going to do that. So let's get making the holes. Well, before we do that, let's kind of mark up and measure up and make sure we're making the holes in the right place on the carbon. This is the spare one, of course. And then, yeah, we can just get the Telltales mounted up, and then we can get the wiring done, and then we can do the wiring on the car, and then we should be done. So there we go, that is the holes cut, all ready for the Telltales to drop in. The reason why I didn't video these bottom two is because, as you can see, I had to do some extra work to trim out the back carbon just to allow that to sit flush. So that is done now, so we can get these mounted up, and then it's on to the wiring on this bit with the plugs. Okay, so there we go. Tightened up the little nuts at the back and put a little blob of contact adhesive on so they don't come loose. And that is how they're looking on the front. I think looking pretty tidy. There, I think I've got them straight. That was a bit of a faff. But the plan now is I've got these 3-way and 2-way waterproof plugs that I'm going to use just to make it super tidy. So I'm going to pin things together. So for example, this is the indicators. So the 2 indicators here are going to run together like that into a 3 like that. And then this is the side light on this side, I think, whichever one it is, side light, main beam. These need to be plus and minus into the pins on the dash, so that's going to be a 2-way, and then the bottom 2 they can go into a 3-way, and then I can basically then just run a wire for the earth, maybe 3 wires for the earth, 1 wire might solder it all in together just to the same place as the USB power. So let us get this tidied up and get the pins on and get the plugs on.
Later, in the void.
So that is the dash plugged now. So this is the male side, all nice and sort of tidy and ready to go in the car. So the next and final job is going to be just getting the corresponding plugs fitted into the car and getting the wires the right length and sort of tidying the wires up, and then we can just plug it all in, hopefully, and kind of sit back and once again bask in the glory of a wonderful digital, now road legal dash. Okay, so we are in the car now and I am saving everyone's bandwidth. I've already wired in the plugs into the car and tidied them up. So we've got the indicator here left and right. We've got the yellow and red is the main beam. The blue and black with the red dot is the handbrake, and the other blue and black is the low fuel. For the handbrake, you've got to do it how you don't think you should do it, which is you need to take a positive feed, which is the blue, which goes to the positive feed for the LED, and the handbrake feed from the dash goes to the negative. And when the handbrake is on, you've got ground, so the light is on, and when the handbrake is off, this gets a voltage, so you don't have a ground, so the lamp goes out. On the other side, you've got the side lights here on this one, and then here we've got the oil on the yellow, and we've got the engine light on the green. And this is another similar weird wiring. So what you need to do is I've got a positive ignition, just like we've got for the handbrake, going to the middle that both of the LEDs share, and then you've got the yellow for the oil, which is the negative for the oil lamp, and you've got the green for the engine, which is the negative for the engine lamp. And same thing again is when the car is kind of ignition is turned on, these two give a ground, and then when the car is started and run and there's no fault, these two give a voltage, so there's no ground, so the lights go out. So all that being said, we can now get the gauge dash plugged in and we can give it a test. Okay, so we are done. everything is tidied away. Let's give it a go. Handbrake is on, everything else is off. Turn on the ignition. Oil light, engine light, tablet comes on. Handbrake light is on. Release the handbrake. Handbrake light goes out. Side lights, main beam, indicate left, indicate right. Awesome. So there we go. That is job done. The dash is all now road legal. Hope you've enjoyed watching this little follow on from the main video, which was obviously building the dash in the first place and getting it in the car. Any questions, give me a shout. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until the next video.